Okay, alright. This is my first movie review I'm doing. Just got out of Tron Ares, one of my favorite franchises. Tron, love it. First one's good, establishes the universe of the grid, all that cool fun stuff, all the sci-fi editing, VFX, pretty cool, stuff like that. Respect it, not that good of a movie, I'm not gonna lie. So, we go into Tron Legacy, alright? Tron Legacy 2010, phenomenal. Doesn't do well at the box office. It makes, I think, like $410 million. Pretty cool. But Disney's like, hey, we're having a lot of bombs recently, so we're not gonna make the other one. So, Tron Ares, originally, I think it was supposed to be called Tron Ascension. That was the whole thing. God damn it. So, originally, it's supposed to be called, Tron Ascension. Pretty much the basic same plot of Ares, where the Tron world is, encroaching on our world. Pretty cool concept, I'm not gonna lie. But, kind of talk about it in a little bit, where you can see, hey, what's the cool thing everybody loves about Tron? It's the visuals and being in the grid, because that's like the coolest thing, with all the bright colors, all the, world that's completely different from ours, completely digitized. And what are we gonna do? We're gonna take you out of that world. Like, what? So that's a complaint I have from the movie, is I felt like, not to start off with complaints, but I wish there was a little bit more Tron in the Tron movie, I'm not gonna lie. But enough of that, I'll get to a little bit more complaints overall. But I would say, see the movie. I really liked the movie. It was good. I went in with zero expectations, because, knowing who's in it and it taking 15 years to come out after the Tron Legacy, I was a little worried, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm glad that it was good. If you are a Tron fan, you will like the movie. If you're not a Tron fan, I think you'll probably like it. I mean, it's decent. It's a fun watch. There isn't really any dull moments in the movie. There's a little cringy dialogue, I would say, here and there from Ares and Eve's character. So that was a little goofy. I'm not going to lie. It's not really what I kind of expected. But yeah, that's kind of my... I'll get into more. So, Jared Leto, before I get into spoilers, Jared Leto... I hate that guy, but he actually did a decent job in the movie, as much as it pains me to say. Maybe because, I don't know. I really don't. Because he was playing a good guy, I don't know. He did fine, in the beginning, he has his mask fully, blacked out, so you don't see his stupid face. That was really cool, and then it turns on, you're like, oh, that's the guy in that cult. Oh, heck yeah. But all those things aside, he actually did a decent job, no stuff like that. So that was good. The supporting cast was decent. The Eve character was good. She was like the new owner of NCOM after Sam Flynn. And Athena was pretty good. I really liked her character. She was kind of Ares' right-hand man type thing. She was cool. Pretty badass. Liked her. Who else was in the movie? Eve's sidekick was okay. Comic relief character. Who else do we have here? Cameron Monaghan showed up. Jedi Fallen Order guy for some reason, and died. Spoiler, I guess, for 1 second. So I don't know what's happening with that. Who else is in this movie? Alright, yeah. So yeah, supporting cast is good. Soundtrack, big one here. So, 9 Inch Nails, the Mr. Trent Reznor. It's good. It's good. It's nowhere near Daft Punk. Nowhere. They are not comparable. But it holds its own. There's only 2 scenes that I didn't like in it, where you start hearing the vocals of Trent Reznor, in the movie. I don't want to hear that. I don't like it. I don't like vocals in my Tron movie. But other than that, it was very good. It fit the vibe of the movie. It fit the scenes. There's some editing issues, I would say, with some of the soundtrack because, you're going into like this really cool fight scene and then you're going like boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and then it's different soundtrack. Awesome. So that's some editing stuff. It's not the biggest deal, but, me and my buddies are talking about it. It kind of ruins the flow of the movie with like this awesome fight scene that could have this like awesome bombastic, or not bombastic, but really heavy guitar riffs in it with the synth in it that was really cool, and then it gets cut out and then they go and when they're doing something else. So that was kind of stupid, but they're minor, very, very minor things. There's no really big complaint issue in the movie, which I think is really good. Very surprising, really surprised. So yeah, movie's good, definitely watch it. Soundtrack's pretty good. There's no like big standout soundtracks like D-Rezzed, End of Line, Fall, Caster from Tron Legacy, anything like that. But there's decent tracks. Like the first intro in it, the song, very good, very good. And then the motif from As Alive As You Need Me to Be, very good. All that is good. We saw it in 3D. I can't even tell you the last time that I saw a 3D movie. Definitely was when I worked at Regal. 100% wasn't working when I saw it, but we saw it at a Cinemark at the XD with like the rumbles and stuff. We weren't in the D-Box, but I felt it. Pretty damn cool, I'm not gonna lie. If there was a movie to see in 3D, I would say it would be Tron. I thought it was pretty cool. It's like I'm gonna grab it, stuff like that. So that was cool. The light cycles, the visuals were really cool. The fight scenes, they have like these staffs that have the light cycle effect on them, which is really neat to see them, and they use that light cycle trail to fight with, so that was cool. The airplanes, the recognizer is cool. Again, just like my biggest complaint of the movie is just not enough Tron-ness, I guess. Like, they go into the real world, and I was kind of hoping that somehow they would write that the grid is corrupting, like, the Earth or something, so we could get some cool visuals of, maybe buildings being, like, slowly, corrupted by cubes or some stuff. I don't know. So, yeah. Other than that, it was really cool. So, spoiler warning, if you care about that. I didn't watch any of the trailers. I, kind of knew he was going to be in it, but, oh God, Kevin Flynn is in it. It's pretty awesome to see him during this whole schmagegi of them trying to, trying to find like the not object permanent. It's called like the permanence code, so to make the Tron people real, and like because in the whole movie the Tron anything. So when they bring the Tron stuff to the real world, it can only last for 29 minutes. And there's two companies, Dillinger and Encom. So Encom and Dillinger Games, I think is what it was called. So that's just like lore from the first two movies. Dillinger is kind of a villain, and then Encom is like the good guys, I guess. So Encom is looking to, do more humanitarian stuff with the permanence. So it's like, hey, we can spawn in food like it's Minecraft and help a bunch of people. And then Dillinger, they want to do it for, like military industrial complex type stuff. So, not good. They want to bring in weapons for the military. Okay. So, they want to use the military stuff. Not good. So that's like the whole crux of the movie is Dillinger, played by Evan Peters. He's the son of, multiple of the people from the first and second movie. The Cillian Murphy's his dad, I'm pretty sure. So he's the bad guy. And Eve is the CEO of Encom, and she's off doing some stuff looking for the permanence code, and just, like a acolyte to Kevin Flynn's work, stuff like that. So that's the whole crux of the movie is, who's going to get this code first. which is cool. And, you know, eventually, you know, battle. Eve gets the code, and then she gets the code. All this stuff happens, and then we get to the point where Jared Leto needs to get it. He's doing all this stuff. They're about to get it. They, you know, beam Jared Leto into the grid. They use a old server of Kevin Flynn's, and then when he goes into the old private server, you know, it's the original Tron. Like, they match the sound effects, they match the VFX, the skin is gray like in the original movie. It was a really, really cool, you know, homage to the original Tron. It was hokey, but I thought it was really cool. It was done very respectfully. It made sense. It wasn't, like, stupid. You know, they said, you know, you're going into the 80s because that's when the grid was made, you know, 1982 or whatever it was. So that was really cool to see. And then he talks to, like, the server copy backup of Kevin Flynn, and he talks to him about, like, what it means to be human. And it was kind of like a I don't know, like a reverse Deus Ex Machina thing, maybe. I don't really know. So it was really cool to see Ares and Kevin Flynn kind of talk, and Ares was becoming slowly throughout the movie more and more human, which was cool to see. There was, you know, of course, like I said earlier, there's some cringy dialogue between Ares and Eve, but what are you gonna do? It's a short scene. It's not that big a deal. But no, that was really cool, and he eventually becomes human, like, you know, like we've seen before, like Korra from Tron Legacy. So that was neat to see. And, you know, they beat Athena, they do all this stuff, all the Tron people, you know, get sent back to Tron World, the Dillinger Grid or whatever, and, you know, all's happy, whatever. NCOM makes, you know, a lot of humanitarian stuff. So it's a happy ending, all that stuff. And then at the very end, Julian Dillinger, Evan Peters, he's about to get arrested, and he, you know, puts himself into his own grid to get away because they know that he's the bad guy. The police are coming to arrest him. It's like, dude, you brought in all these Tron people. What the hell? So he's now in the Tron world, and then, you know, kind of ends. You know, some stuff happens. Jared Leto pretty much plays Jared Leto at the end with a motorcycle, and I thought that was where it's going to end. And he's looking at his little notebook, and his notebook has a picture of Sam Flynn and Korra with some coordinates on there. So that's like, oh shit, it's sequel bait. So if the movie does well, which I hope it does, we will see Sam Flynn and Korra. And then Ares, and I don't know what they're gonna do, but sign me up. That sounds awesome. And then they mentioned Sam Flynn and Korra like 2 times throughout the movie on like TV screens. Like, he was the CEO of NCOM, and then he stepped down abruptly. And then there was one news article that was like, with Sam Flynn stepping down with some mystery girl, and that being Korra, that, you know, his AI girlfriend turn into real girlfriend. So I really hope that we get to see everybody come together and do like some Tron Avengers thing. Would be sick. And then like if they even tied it in with the TV show, I don't know, put a Braxis in there, that would be crazy. But they won't do that. The Braxis is too cool. So yeah, and then there's a post-credit scene of Julian. He is now in the Pooptron world that he made. It looks like an old school identity disc from Tron 1, which is awesome. And then, you know, he grabs it, identity disc, and then, you know, starts like gyrating and stuff, and then he becomes Sark from Tron 1, which is crazy. It's a pretty hokey design, you know, it's like the really big one with the cool helmet. I don't know. It looks stupid, but it was a really cool thing to see. So yeah, I really like how they talked about the first one. That was cool. And then it ends. And there was a lot of people in our theater, so I hope it does well. I don't know. Go see it. It's a good movie. I hope my review was good. I don't know. I always wanted to kind of do reviews. I'm sure all my stuff will get better, but I don't know. I just like talking about movies. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed.